Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Nadika, and this is a brief introduction to nature inspired algorithms. These are also called bio inspired algorithms, and it is a form of intelligence that is occurring naturally. So, why do we need to study it? Now, historically, uh, biological entities had been an inspiration for humans to learn and has been always a tool also. For example, when a storm used to come, people used to watch birds to see their activities. They used to see ants to see their activities, to know, because these organisms have certain properties that they behave certain in a certain way when a certain natural calamity happens. Right, this is just an example. So there are various kind of nature inspired algorithms, and why this is used, because they have intelligence in it. There's certain intelligence mechanism in it. Recently, some certain researchers proposed plant intelligence, how plants intelligence can be utilized and mined to solve problems in artificial intelligence. Why we need artificial intelligence? To make machines more intelligent, to solve problems which are beyond this capability of solving of human beings. So nature inspired algorithms provide kind of toolkit. We have certain things that existing in nature, and we can learn from it, and we can implement it in algorithms, and it is not a new thing. There are new things that is coming on. For example, plant based intelligence, a model has been proposed in 2019, and other things like genetic algorithms, particle swarm optimization, the way birds find food and survive, not only survive, exist and sustain a good life, and the way ants and bees perform the operations. So all these have a science and intelligence behind it. So I'll just briefly explain to you what are all the topics in nature inspired algorithms, and more details. There are a lot of research papers in say bird intelligence, how intelligent birds do things, and there are a lot of things about ants and colony optimizations, and a lot of things about bees. So these things have been studied biologically, and they have been implemented algorithmically, right? These are studied by biologists and environmentalists, ecologists, and the model have been understood. The intelligence mechanism followed by these organisms have been understood. So these are now replicated in artificial intelligence and nature inspired algorithms, bio inspired algorithms, as there are various terms used for it. There are a lot of terms used for it. So this is a broad understanding of human brain also comes in it. Understanding of human brain is the way the current artificial intelligence work is basically on the working of neural networks which are there in human brains, how human brains perform the actions using what is the learning mechanisms of human brain. So all that is being there understood by neurologists and scientists, and this has been mimicked in a computer model to artificially gain intelligence. So for example, whatever you are seeing as AI based toolkits are basically mimicking of human intelligence, and they at times also use nature inspired algorithms to optimize certain parameters or to learn in certain way to find and refine the search space. Search space means we have to find solutions. How do we find solutions? So we are using nature inspired algorithms to find the solution. So let us just briefly understand what are the various kind of nature inspired algorithms. So let us see. The first is like we all know human brains, right? It has been the first very definition of AI was inspired by the motivation that we have to mimic the human brain to solve the problems, right? It is not just computing and calculating anymore. It is now mimicking the learning algorithm. How do we learn? Next is birds. What are the main motives of birds? Main motive of bird is to find food, water, migrate, reproduce, sing, right? These are the main motives of bird. How do they intelligently do it? They do it in a swarm. So what is a swarm? Swarm is a collection of birds that move together in a group, right? And they follow the velocity of the best bird in that group, and then the position of the particles are changed according to the velocity. Velocity is the speed of the best bird in the group. So this is how particle swarm optimization works. So there is a group of birds that intelligently find foods, survives, sustains, sings, migrates, reproduce. So the main logic behind swarm intelligence, same with fishes. A collection of fish, a group of fish performs in the same way. They move in in a group and they find food, migrate, reproduce, and do the same things. So we have to learn from it. So there are a lot of algorithms. This is the main category, particle swarm optimization. There are a lot of subcategories formed. Every new researcher have done some new work in it, some new kind of algorithm to determine the speed and the position, and some other way in which somebody have restricted the search space, somebody have restricted the way in which parameters are optimized. Parameters means the way in which information is passed from one bird to another bird. So there are various kind of variations and variants of this algorithm. It is particularly called particle swarm optimization. So it is a very broad category now, but we have to understand the main thing. The main thing is there is a group of birds, a group of these living beings, birds, and they are finding their food, and they are on a migratory process, finding water and surviving, mating, and doing these things, and they perform it intelligently. Can we learn from it? Yes, we can learn from it. So how does it form? If you see a group of birds, they follow this pattern, right? There are certain birds that are in the front. Others communicate the distance with their neighbors, and the first one, the best velocity, the best speed is determined. Others update their speed accordingly. So this is how a flock of birds, a swarm of birds operate, right? So this can be used to form various intelligent algorithms in AI. There is a kind of optimization, that is a fitness function. That is called fitness function. So that is the aim. That aim is known as the fitness function. So what is the fitness function of a particular position that is being reached, right? Is it improving something? Is it improving the search mechanisms? So that fitness function is basically determining how close you are to finding the basically to finding a target. The target is the right food for the birds, right? That is the main aim that they travel, and in the group, that is the main aim. So in the AI based algorithm, we can change the fitness function, right? For example, if I am doing some kind of search algorithm to find the best path from point A to point B, so my fitness algorithm will be how close I am to the point B, given I have traveled this path from point A. So these are various kind of applications that are there, and there are plethora of applications. It can be used in computer communication to detect any kind of scam, or it can be used to find a solution to combinatorial optimization problems, because we can represent the particles as a kind of combinations or possible solutions, and we have to find the perfect solution that is the best representative of the problem, right? And it can also be used in intrusion detection, and it can be used to even solve hacking problems, right? Next set of nature inspired problems are ants. There's a lot to learn from ants. So you've seen ants, right, in gardens and in forests and parks. There are ants. So how do they perform actions? So ants are, the main aim of ants is to find food and dump it back in the ant this that they dig the ant hole. So the ant house, whatever. So the ant bill, right? So they have to put it back there, because they have to deposit the food there to consume and for other purposes. So now what the ant does is it finds the best food, it deposits pheromones on the path, and the path that has the most high quantity of pheromones is detected as the best path. So what is there to learn from ants, right? And from there we learn that we are finding a path, we are determining a path.